All right, you know this song? I mean, you have to know this song. It was absolutely everywhere back in 2007. Just this massive blast of disco funk that felt like pure joy. But what if I told you that hiding inside one of the catchiest pop songs of the 2000s was a really dark, cynical warning about the future? A warning that honestly, we're all living through right now. Yep, right there. In the middle of that happy-go-lucky beat is a line that is just pure dread. And that is the central mystery of Just Jack's Stars in Their Eyes. How could a song that sounds so cheerful be secretly a brutal critique of celebrity culture? It's basically a Trojan horse made of pop music. And today, we're going to crack it open and see what's really hidden inside.
And what's totally wild is that this Trojan horse plan, it worked perfectly. The song was a monster commercial hit. It peaked at #2 on the UK charts in January of 2007. I mean, think about that. The public was literally dancing in clubs and singing along in their cars to a song that was holding up a mirror to their own darkest cultural habits. So the question is, how on earth did he pull it off?
Well, for starters, he built the perfect disguise. On the surface, this track isn't just good, it is an absolute masterclass in how to build a radio-friendly hit for that exact moment in time.
You know, the appeal of this thing is almost scientific. It's got that propulsive 125 beats per minute tempo, which is like the magic number for dance music. Those big soaring strings just scream classic, feel-good disco. And then you've got the vocals, that kind of London-esque spoken word style that was super on trend in 2007 with artists like Lily Allen and Jamie T. The whole thing was just engineered to be completely irresistible. But once that music gets its hooks in you, that's when the lyrics start to tell a very, very different story. And this is where the song reveals its true purpose. It's not a celebration, it's a cautionary tale. And this is where the whole thing just splits right down the middle. The sound is pure euphoria, but the lyrics, they're telling a story of paranoia, of exploitation, and of the complete and total commodification of a human being. So every time you're grooving to that funky bass line, Just Jack is describing the exact mechanics of how the fame machine is going to chew you up and spit you out. Now, to really get the story, you gotta understand some of the slang. The chorus kicks off at the Dog and Duck karaoke machine. So the Dog and Duck is just this classic, super generic name for a local British pub. It's meant to represent an ordinary, maybe even kind of boring, everyday life. It's the starting point, the place where the dream of stardom is just a safe, fun fantasy you share with your friends.
But then, you achieve that dream, and you become a VI person. And this wordplay is just, it's so clever. You're not really a person anymore, right? You are a status object, a very important person. And just like the lyric says, once you become this thing, your problems have all worsened, and paranoia just completely takes over. You've basically been dehumanized.
So who's responsible for all this? Well, the blaggers. A blagger is a hustler, a smooth talker who gets by on charm and persuasion, not on any real substance or talent. Just Jack calls the music business the kingdom of the blagger, painting this picture of an industry run not by artists but by charlatans who are selling a fantasy they know is a complete lie.
And it all leads to this just devastatingly prophetic line. This lyric perfectly captures the entire life cycle of manufactured fame. The industry sells the dream, the rise to the top, but they conveniently hide the inevitable crash and burn. And that fall is just humiliating. The shopping mall tour was a real thing in the 2000s, where former stars would perform for shoppers who couldn't care less. It's the ultimate symbol of becoming nothing more than background noise for capitalism.
To really appreciate how razor-sharp this critique was, we have to go back. We have to understand the specific cultural moment this song was dropped into. Because this wasn't just some general observation. It felt like it was narrating the news in real time.
See, in the mid-2000s, the UK was completely obsessed with reality competition shows. Shows like Pop Idol and The X Factor. These things weren't just TV shows, they were a cultural machine. They promised ordinary people from that Dog and Duck pub that they could become global superstars, like overnight, and the public could not get enough.
Okay, this is where it gets truly unbelievable. Just look at this timeline. As Stars in Their Eyes is being released and climbing the charts, Britain's most famous reality TV star, Jade Goody, gets caught up in a massive, ugly scandal on Celebrity Big Brother. The very same media that built her up is now ferociously tearing her down. And while the entire country is gripped by this, there's a song playing on every single radio station with the lyric, "The tabloids use your face to document your fall from grace." It wasn't just a pop song anymore. It had become the live soundtrack to a public collapse. But the story?
It gets even stranger from there. After it became a huge hit, the song's warning was, ironically, swallowed whole by the very culture it was attacking.
The track literally became the soundtrack for the Skins generation. You know, that show about hedonistic teens chasing highs to escape their problems, which is exactly the kind of behavior the song warned against. It was also used in The In-Betweeners, a comedy about kids whose fantasies of being cool are constantly crashing into their mundane reality. In both cases, the lyrical warning was just ignored. The euphoric beat was all that mattered.
But this has to be the ultimate paradox. The song that makes fun of VI persons and critiques the kingdom of the blagger was used as the official soundtrack for a Dolce & Gabbana fashion show. The critique was fully absorbed by the machine it was criticizing. A song about washed-up stars playing in shopping malls was now the background music for the world's most elite tastemakers. The prophecy was fulfilled in the most ironic way you could possibly imagine.
So, does the story end there? Just a piece of 2000s nostalgia? Not even close. In fact, the song's warning is more relevant today than it has ever been.
A whole new generation has discovered this track, mainly because the Gen Z artist Pink Panthera sampled that amazing beat for her song Attracted to You, and by stripping away the cynical lyrics, she proved just how timeless that sound really is. After another sample confirmed its classic status, the song was suddenly reborn on TikTok, a platform that is literally built on the idea of turning your private bedroom dance routines into a public career.
And this is where the prophecy truly comes full circle. The technology has changed, sure, but the dynamic is exactly the same. That humiliating shopping mall tour from 2007, that's now the soul-crushing sponsored post for a product you don't even believe in. The fall from grace is now just called getting canceled. The anxieties the song described aren't just for pop stars anymore. They're for anyone and everyone trying to build a brand online.
And that's really the question the song leaves us with today, isn't it? It gave us this perfect, incredibly prescient warning about the human cost of turning our lives into content. We all danced to it back in 2007. The only question now is, did any of us actually listen?